Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report, and starting with the ASX 200 here. The current move here, this particular pattern through here, we're looking at it as a corrective pattern, and it's not going to be a simple pattern. In hindsight it will be. So we need to work through this together. There's no trend here really to trade, so we're not missing out on anything as such just because we don't know. Once the correction matures, then things will fall into place. We'll be able to recognize things a little easier. My sort of assumption at this stage would be looking at this as an A wave here, and then looking, this is definitely a corrective move to the upside here, so we can call that an A wave. This particular pattern here, yesterday we were looking at it going to be in 5 waves down, but it only gave us 3 waves down. It's a little bit difficult to see on the derivatives, but if I bring the cash market across here and look at the move down through here on this 15-minute chart here, we can see that it's pretty much in 3 waves here. So we need to look at it as a corrective wave as well in 3 waves. So that will be that move down here. So I'm assuming that we best look at it as a B wave here, and then we'll look for a C wave up here as a larger B wave here, and then a C wave down to this space here. Okay, now currently the move up through here, if we look at this as a C wave here, we would need to look at it as 5 waves. So currently we've got 3 waves up here and a current little pullback in here. So we would need to see this might play around a little bit here, because really it's in the resistance area, not only at the 61 here, but also at the 61.8% retracement level here in terms of, where are we here, just in here, I'll just put the 60 and the 50 in here. So what we would need to see here for this is that we would need to see another little high come into play here today, and then that would give us our 5 waves to the upside. Okay, so that's what we're looking, but I think that's going to be a bit of a sucker play here. So we will also look at this, even if we had 5 waves up through here, okay, we're still going, even if I was wrong and it became a bullish pattern, then we would be looking at an ABC after that, and then the market would move up like that here. So if that's the case, then we can look to go long here. So let's, it's always good to have a plan B as such. So that's how that would play out anyway. If we were looking for this C wave down here, bring this one over here a little bit more realistic, then we would need to see 5 waves moving down in this particular case. So we'd see 1 and 2, and then a stronger 3rd wave down here, then seeing a bit of a complex 4th here, and then a 5th wave coming into here and probably pulling back to this area through here before we see a move up from that side there. So that's sort of what I'm thinking. So it's a little bit sort of, a bit roller coasty and so on here. And it is the banks that are rallying this move up through here. So if we have a look at the banks here for a moment, we'll just look at CBA because it's 8 or 9% of the actual index, and it's the sort of elephant in the room, so to speak. So, I've sort of had this as a bit of a bullish pattern here, as you may know. And the reason, well, let's just go back to the monthly chart here just for 1 second here. This is kind of what I was thinking here, because the CBA has pretty much done what the S&P 500 has done. It's really taken a nice clear move from the top here from that 2007-2008 GFC here. It's got a clear 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The actual XJO has struggled up here like many other markets as well, but this one has moved up quite nicely. So it's a nice picture in terms of Elliott. So I was thinking, well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to here, and then possibly up for 1, back for 2 here, because we do have 3 waves in this pullback for wave 2 here. So it's possible that we can go up for 3, 4 and 5 here for this market. But also at the same time, I need to be mindful, because we're in a wave 4 here, it just may get a bit more complicated here. So it's getting to a point in here that it's going to reveal itself soon. So that's really what I've been waiting for within that. So I'm just going to cut back to the daily chart here now. I know it's a bit messy. So it's possible that that this nice move back down through here is a wave 2. It may be part of a larger triangle pattern within all of this, but if it is bullish here, we need to be aware of where to trade it from. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. This little move up through here, it really looks like it's in 3 waves, doesn't it, in this particular instance. So it's possible that we don't have wave 1 up here yet. Just forget about this green line for a moment. It's possible that this wave 1 is still over here and this wave 2 is here, and this would be 1 and 2 and wave 3 here, then an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here for wave 4 here, then going up for wave 5, then having an A, B, C pattern here, and then moving up here. So that's the other alternative count here for me at the moment. But if this is wave 1 here and wave 2 to here, we've actually got 5 waves down here. So we would be looking for an ABC back up, 50-60% of this structure coming down, and then wave 2 coming back down into here, then moving up. So if I move into, I'm not sure where we were there, maybe let's go to the hourly chart here. So yeah, so this is why I've got wave 4 here, but also wave 4 over here as an A and a B and a C wave here, because this is in 5 waves here. So it could be the case, and we could see a move up from this point. So I won't know that yet until things pan out a little bit. But if it was going to fail moving up there, then just grab this here. Then we need to look at this 50-60% retracement level in here, and don't worry about this little green line just yet. So this is really where the current rally is coming from in the XJO at the moment. So we could look at this just here as the A wave, the B wave here, and the C wave coming up here. And the C wave here would actually be, we've got 5 waves in this little structure here. I can see here we've got 1 and 2 in here, and the 3rd wave moving up, so a 4th and a 5th wave to move here. So if that fails from there and moves down, then I know that we're coming into this C wave. We'll move down to this 61.8% structure here, okay? If it doesn't do that, because this also could be counted as 1 and 2 here and going up for 3 here, and if that's the case, then we would see this as the 3rd wave going up here, then an ABC for the 4th here, and then the 5th wave going up here. Okay, if we get the 5th wave going up here, then we'll call that wave 1 then, and we still don't need to make a move into this market just yet, even though there was a really nice daily switch set up within here, which I was kind of looking to take yesterday, but it wouldn't have gotten us very far, Well, may have got us up to here, but even if we get wave 1 here, then we'll get wave 2 coming back in here, and then we'll be moving up from this point, and then we will take the trade on this top here with this wave 2 in here. So as I mentioned, this whole wave 2 area here, it hasn't resolved itself enough for us to move into it yet, That's why I haven't done anything with it, and this is what's going to be governing the ASX trade here as well. So I just thought that that I would point that out. So this little move coming up here, we need to, on the XJO here, we need to see the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 and the 5 here. This also could also be counted a bit differently here as well. It's possible that I have made a mistake in here, and there is a 5-wave structure in here, and then we would need to put wave A over here, but we'd still be looking for wave B up here. So if it did just collapse from here and move down, then we can look on the short side from that point. But yeah, look, but at the same, I don't think we're going to be, even though I don't know, I don't think we're missing anything, and we are in a corrective pattern. It's not like we're in a trend. Trends are easy to track. Corrections are not so. And yesterday we looked at China here. This is the daily chart here. We can see it's reacting from the 15,000 here, which is the medium level here. Well, most of the other Asian markets are doing the same, and we've had a bit of a call to bring some of the other Asian markets in. So I will do that, but I'm not going to do it in any detail, because it's my understanding that folks aren't actually trading this market. They're just looking at it as a bit of a guide stick as well. So the Hang Seng here, what I want to point out, how much data, don't have a lot of data here for this, but going back to this point here. So there were trends that started from the US banking sector in 2016, and they're really the ones that we've been tracking within all of this. And with that, we've seen, other markets push up. We've seen the resources push up on the 2016 low as well. So BHP, for example, has pushed up through here, and so have the other indices, the DAX as well. So they're pretty much all in the same count. I don't have this counted, this little track here counted, but I will do that in due course. But what I wanted to point out here is a trading level thing here. So I know that normally when we come to a level, the orange lines are the major levels, and the medium levels are the grey levels, and the next one down are the minor levels. So I know that coming up to here, we've had the arrival, the reaction, and we're looking at the first high above the level here. But more importantly here is these three lines here, which make up group 1, which is basically 1, 2, and 3. So we know that when we get to 3 here, in this case 33, we know that if we found support on 33 here, then we'll be pushing up to the next level, which would be 35, and then of course up next number's 8 here as the Fibonacci numbers run, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So if we get support on top of 3 here, then we'll be pushing up. But if we don't get support here, then we're going to be pulled back into this market here. So at this stage here on the weekly here, even though I haven't got this counted yet, we do not have support on top of this level yet. But this is what we will be investigating in due course. And this also goes to the Nikkei as well. The 225, it's also at 23,000, so 23, the number 3 there, so it's also experiencing the same thing as well. It does not have support on the 23, so it's in the same boat as well. But if these markets find support on top of their 3s, then we'll be pushing up, and then you can trade them long. But at that stage, then you'll see the S&P moving up there as well, finishing its correction, and also the Australian market as well. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.